Hi, I'm Tolga, Onica's CTO.
Hi, I'm William. I'm the lead DevOps architect at Onica.
We're going to talk today about immutable infrastructure. So Will, what do we mean when we say immutable infrastructure?
Immutable infrastructure is infrastructure that's defined by code, and typically what you'll see is any machine images that are used, virtual machine images, are actually pre-baked as virtual machine templates, or AMIs in Amazon.
How do we build those images and how do we get them into production?
So typically the best way to get those kinds of things into production is to use some sort of a CICD pipeline. CICD pipelines basically mean that your code is the driving factor in deployment. So when you push code to a Git repository, that push will actually trigger events that will cause a job to run that actually deploys resources and then deploys your code on top of those resources into your different environments.
So then when we want to patch these instances, we don't actually patch them, we just build them again?
Essentially, yes. You could rebuild the AMIs and then just redeploy. And this also makes it really easy to update and version and roll back if there's a change to the environment that was not expected. All you have to do is basically redeploy an older version of the artifacts that you're deploying, or you just push out new changes. So it makes streamlining the whole process a lot faster and simpler to manage.
And what are some of the open source and AWS tools that we use to build these pipelines?
A lot of the tools that we use revolve around the AWS's infrastructure. So we use a lot of CloudFormation to deploy actual EC2 resources, load balancers, things like that. We like to leverage code deploy a lot for deploying actual code artifacts. That's a really handy tool because it can basically run any scripts that you throw at it. So it can be used to deploy applications, or it can just be used to make configuration changes to maybe a firewall or a proxy that you have in your environment. Other tools that we can use are AWS's code pipeline and code build to actually build the artifacts. And pipeline is a process that will actually push those artifacts through the various steps required to deploy them. And then, of course, everybody is pretty familiar with Jenkins. There's also Microsoft's version, which is VSTS and TFS. And all of those tools basically are just the glue in between all of those deployment steps to make it really flexible to do whatever you need to do in order to push out your code.
Awesome. Thanks, Will.
Thanks.